Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Three Wise Men. To those watching live, if you would please remain muted throughout the show until told otherwise. We may ask you to unmute now and then. If you are watching in the future on a pre-recorded version, you are unable to join in with the unmuting due to the passage of time. I will be providing sound effects, scenery and ushering, just as in a normal theatre. If you do make too much noise of rustling of crisp packets, you may end up with a torch in your face. That's just the way theatre works. It's approximately 1 hour with no interval. The scene is the early 1840s. The place is America, home of the traditional English Christmas. And your host is renowned and celebrated writer, toast of the New York literary scene, Washington Irving.
Merry greetings, one and all. It is a joy to see you and to welcome you to my home of Sunnydale, New York, where you will encounter a true tale. As accurate as it is long, and it is not long. This history is so true, we've hardly to make anything up. I am your glad host, Washington Irving. You may have heard of me from, no, Sleepy Hollow, Rip Van Winkle, Headless Horseman. You have Netflix? Great. Tonight, I have invited 2 guests from 2 other households. We remain legal in our Christmas bubble. One is on his literary tour of these United States. The other is not. You will know them, but more so, you will know our descendants. From mulled wine to the tree in the corner to, well, that would be telling. You see, we are here to wish you a Merry Christmas. Christmas is here.
Christmas. That man must be a misanthrope indeed, in whose breast something like a jovial feeling is not roused by the recurrence of
Christmas, gift-bearing Christmas, day of grand memories, king of the year.
The smell of roasted chestnuts, and we are telling winter stories, ghost stories round the fire at Christmas.
A season for kindling fire. The mistletoe is hung, the Yule clog, the Christmas candle. Revelry is permitted. Yea, it's encouraged through the 12 days of.
Christmas was dead to begin with. There's no doubt whatever about that. When I was a boy, Christmas was as dead as a doornail, deader still as a coffin nail, as a dodo. Dead as the coffin nail that buried the final dodo. That's how dead Christmas was. It needed someone to remove the coffin nail, prise the lid, revive the dodo, then take the bird, slaughter it, roast it, and serve on a platter with an orange in its mouth and a chorus of God rest ye merry gentle bird. 'Twas the early 1800s, and all through the land, Christmas was ignored. Few turkeys were planned. Enter the man who invented Christmas.
Oh, Mr. Dickens, it's good of you to say so, although I don't know that I invented Christmas.
Oh, no, I didn't mean you.
There is none more generous with words than a literary house guest in need of a drink. Oh, let me top up your cup. Oh, yes.
Thank you.
And your goodwill with more smoking bishop, and the compliment that you too, sir, have given generously to Christmas. I can't take all the credit. So stop me if I overstay my curtain call without gesturing to you in the wings. Why, I think back to your festive masterwork, the Pickwick Papers.
Yes, how could I top that?
Oh, such warmth and revelry of Christmases old. I could hear the crackle of the log fire in your dingley dell. I could smell your goose. Feel the loyal hug of friends around my expanding waist.
Ah, the hug of friends. Now that's one thing they can never take away from us.
Never. And that's what Christmas feels like to me when I read of it in your works. An escape from the bawdy Christmas this world gives us here in 1842.
Dr. Irving, any Pickwick warmth is from a flame lit by you. For you, sir, are the world's premier pen wielder. It may be the name of Dickens on everyone's lips, I regret, but the name of Washington Irving resides in my readers' hearts. Any London cobbles I write of are built on streets paved by you.
Though not really paved as such, more dungy. Oh yes, I recall London well, when I could travel there.
2 nights in 7, I'd carry you upstairs. One night, you're Rip Van Winkle. Then I'd sleep for eternity. The next, you're Sleepy Hollow.
I'll be glad it's a book under your arm and not your head.
As a child, I read your traveller's tales under my bedsheets by candlelight. And several house fires later, oh, your pages would be devoured, consumed whole, then regurgitated to my family over breakfast. You captured, in a way that no Englishman has, our English Christmas time.
Of mistletoe and wine, children singing Christian rhymes, with logs on the fire and...
Sorry, what was that?
I'm sorry, I've absolutely no idea.
How I journeyed with you through the pages to those fine English country homes, festive games, fireside carriage rides.
Nice trick if you can do it.
A table with more roasted birds than a fire-bombed aviary. Yet, those English places you wrote of, I could find them on no map. East Cheap, Green Arbour Court, Littlest Britain.
Oh, sure. I found them easier to spell than your Loughborough, Gloucestershire, Birmingham in your Midwest.
Yeah, West Midlands, we call it.
You're an American now, Charles. But hey, whether my Midwest or your West Midlands, we are in the midst of a festive drought. From here in upstate New York to that west coast city of El Pueblo de Nuestro de la Reina de los Angeles.
Yeah, they should abbreviate that.
I know, call it El Pueblo. EP. But trust me, look out of that window. You'll see no one celebrating Christmas.
No, well, that's the Hudson River, and it's March. It's springtime.
There's no need to be afraid. In springtime, you let in light and panish. Oh, no, I mean, come December. I don't know how it is back in merry old England, but here, even in Advent, you'll find no sprig of holly, no welling. The games we used to play. Oh, are you and I alone in recalling games of Snapdragon?
Shadow Buff.
Are you there, Moriarty?
Oh, Reverend Crawley's game.
Show the Wild Mare.
Steal the White Loaf. Hoodman Blind. Captain Puff's Tickle Warrant.
That could be just you and Mrs. Dickens. Oh, how is she? Still up sleeping off the long voyage?
She has not taken well to the change in time zones. Terrible ship lag.
I envy you, Charles. How I crave your domestic joy. If I've helped forge the family Christmas, I am but a visitor to it unless I borrow my nieces and nephews.
Children are best borrowed. All the more rooms for house guests. And you are such a fine host.
Oh, I've invited a mystery guest too. Trick I learned from the finest host I ever met 25 years ago now. Christmas 1818 in your wintry rural Birmingham.
Birmingham is not rural, though it can be wintry year round. Are you sure you didn't just stick a pin in a map and set your travel log there?
Well, near rural Birmingham, with little to no pressure on my part. The family of James Watt invited me to dinner. You know Watt, the horsepower fella. They throw a great party. Just when it seemed lacking, aha! Watt had an idea, as if a small gas lamp appeared above his head.
A real gas lamp moment, yes.
Yes. He'd bring in a surprise guest or a new game. But we never got to Captain...
Puff's Tickle Warrant, yes. In hindsight, that was just a game for Mrs. Dickens and myself. Even that we play so seldom nowadays.
And yet you keep having children.
Oh, the warrant is still valid, but Captain Puff has been reduced to corporal. Who's this guest then?
Oh, fashionably late, Charles. Anyway, you must wait to unwrap your presents. It's what would do.
Yes. I read your account of Bracebridge Hall. Who knew that Birmingham was the festive epicenter you describe, the home all this time of the hearty traditional Christmas? It's almost like it's utter fiction.
Not utter, my friend.
I can't believe it's not utter.
Believe it. Belief is all. Believe you me.
Oh, I believe that. I just don't have to believe everything willy-nilly.
Willy who?
English parlance. You would have heard of it in Birmingham. if you were there.
Oh, okay. So what if my histories are high stories, if my articles are arty, if my tales are tall? I paint pictures.
Yes, but false pictures. Festive frolics in the English Midlands? There is no Christmas ham in Birmingham. All I believe is that as of now, in the year of our Lord, 1842, both our lands have forgot Christmas. A spark of my Pickwick or a flint of your Bracebridge Hall is not enough to reignite the flame.
But if that spark is lit by the world's most famous writer, if that flint is wielded by the world's best-selling bestseller, if not us, then who? Don't leave it to William Nilliam. We are the dream team, Irving and Dickens. The proof in the plum pudding that 2 pens are mightier than a sword in the kidney.
You have the American optimism I hope to meet in my hero, Washington. You are the reason I sailed here.
Oh, and I thought it was to answer that mailbag of complaints when you killed off little Nell. America wept because of you.
Those letters. Can she come back to life? Alas, no. Frankenstein has been done. And I wouldn't want to cross Mary Shelley.
Oh, trust me, you don't. You know we were engaged almost.
Yes.
She thought I was a monster. That's tough coming from her.
Yes, I did read of you two. Your headless horseman meets the monster. Sorry to hear that your courtship is no longer alive.
Ah, do you hear what I hear?
Oh, you've not invited Mary Shelley?
Oh, not likely. My servant will present your present presently. We will see whom the bells bring.
Just don't let the bells end.
Christmas time!
You are of unusual song tonight, Washington. You are like our bawdy 12th nights that England enjoys. Even our first night is not silent, but drowned out with drinking songs.
I hear our only winter holiday is New Year's now. Beyond this window is a Christmasless void.
Well, once again, it is the middle of March.
Last Christmas, I gave it my all. But the very same day, wham, the world gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll, I don't know, get blind drunk on eggnog.
Needs work. But indeed, on my latest day of Christmas, my true love sent to me just one Englishman a celebrating.
And one American a celebrating.
But many a Deutsch is celebrating. Germany always had Christmas.
Your Royal Majesty.
Your Highness.
No, it's kind of you, but you can just call me Washington.
No, I am correcting you. Your Majesty is for my wife. As consort, I am Your Highness.
What a surprise guest, Dr. Irving. You have invited, I'm sorry, are you Mary Shelley or Queen Victoria?
Prince Albert of Coburg at my service. It's gender-bind casting, yeah, you know. Otherwise, the story's all bearded saints and male writers and endless drunken kings. So use your imagination. I am Prince Albert, yeah?
Yeah, Royal Highness.
For the record, I have no problem with this, and I think it's very forward-thinking. I expect nothing less of the land that kept Christmas when we pagans were brawling in the streets.
Oh, yes, England banned it, American barely discovered it, but Germany always preserved Christmas.
Of course, Germany preserved it. You pickle everything.
Sir, and other sir. Let us have some royal respect. Keep this convivial. Have a drink. You may have to fetch it yourselves. Here's to you. Raise a glass for everyone. You are both welcome to my home of Sunnyside, New York. Will your wifely majesty be joining us, your very male royal highness?
Let's assume not.
You surprise me, Dr. Irving. You see American soil as a chance to bring together Londoners who have found neither time nor reason to meet up back in England.
I I couldn't pass up the opportunity to invite their highnesses for a nightcap during their royal tour, promoting Britain's industrial prowess on our shores. And it coincides with Mr. and Mrs. Dickens' visit for the book tour of the great Boz himself. Can I call you Boz?
Many do, and you just have.
And where is Mrs. Boz, Frau Dickens, your wife?
Abed, or upstairs at least. She has a little picture of our children painted by my artist friend Maclise. She'll be staring at that now, weeping. She's a little sentimental about the children. Oh, and she detests America so much she cries herself to sleep. No offense.
Oh, some taken.
See, I'm the opposite. I'm sentimental about America, whereas our children back in London, well, I do miss Grip, my pet raven. All writers should have a pet raven, perfect companion for imaginative journeys.
Yeah, I must get one once the cawing bird upstairs flies away. Your wife is a reluctant traveler. What was it she said when you talked of coming to these shores?
Do we have to? Can't you just go to Bristol and go up with the third and fourth class people there? You see what I have to put up with.
Oh, should we call her down for the royal reception? Reminder of home.
Best not. No.
Yeah. I'll leave her there. Yeah,
Stay in her room. Yeah.
Is she self-isolating, quarantining, shielding?
No, she just hates people.
Anyway, much better just the three of us, all lads together. So, Mr. Dickens, you have crossed the Atlantic to promote...
Peace, tolerance, and Oliver Twist.
You must consider yourself at home.
I don't get it.
Consider yourself. That's not from Oliver? Must be confused.
I came here as a novelist, though the natives think me some kind of moral reformer. I imagine due to the agonizing detail of little Nell's impoverished death.
No spoilers. Your old curiosity shop is still new to me. Little Nell, she doesn't.
It was very moving, but I love the fun, Dickens. Your Highness has read the Pickwick Papers? Oh, that Christmas Eve visitation to the hateful gravedigger Grunge.
Grubb, Gabriel Grubb.
In 200 years, they will still speak of Dickens' festive masterwork, Gabriel Grubb and the Christmas Goblins, who show visions of ordinary lives to the villain till he wakes and abandons his bitter ways. A timely lesson of redemption at Christmas. 3 stars.
3? You read like a 5.
You have better to come. Look to the future now. You've only just begun. Write more like this, I say. Now the curiosity shop is closed. I mean, your new one is great. Your Monty Whizzlenut.
Martin Chuzzlewit. I must reach his end first before thinking of anything anew.
Oh, will you kill off Martin too? Poor little Nell.
Your Highness cares greatly for the fictitious poor that I have created, but forgive me asking, since you're here to boast of industrial dominance, do you care for the real poor that you and your fellow industrialists have created?
Wow.
Oh, keep it light, Charles. Help me fetch drinks. What's got into you? He's a prince. Do we Americans hold your royal family dearer than you Brits?
I'm sure the crown is more popular in America than at home, yes. I am no royalist. They are human just like us. They make mistakes like us. They marry fools like us.
Oh, is that it? You object to the Queen marrying a German. Never had you down as a bigot.
And I'm not. I just object to the Queen marrying that German.
Friends, if you're whispering about politics, you need not. I welcome robust comment.
You may not if you heard the comments. On the working conditions, that is. I had a letter recently from a Dr. Miles Mahoney, or something, from Cornwall in England's southwest. His report of the tin mines wrung my heart.
As it would wring mine. We are in constant talks with the government to protect workers. When it When I became consort, what was the first society I led? The anti-slavery society. So come on.
Such virtue signaling.
Don't show shade at me. No.
Snowflake.
Gentlemen, why are you at each other's throats with such forward-thinking language? Although I do like the sound of snowflake. Very festive.
I am sorry, Dr. Irving. I come here at your request for a nightcap. Instead, I am insulted by my own subjects. I shall be leaving. Good day.
No, wait. Mr. Dickens, I'm sure, is only having some ribald fun. And you said you welcomed robust comment.
Fine. Mr. Dickens, we are among friends. Speak freely-ish.
I mean to say, Your Highness, that you talk of protecting workers as if there are reporters here. But there are no measle-mouthed critics ready to pour scorn. So let us be frank. You have come to America to make money for England at any cost.
I'm sorry, Charles, but you've come for the money too. You are not just here to see who will buy your Oliver Twist, nor, as you say, to visit me, nor to reply to the Little Nell fan mail. You are here reviewing the situation of copyright.
Why such exaggerated phrasings? I did not use those in my book.
Oh, I just thought maybe some kind of stage show one day. New York has this broad roadway, perfect for a few playhouses. It's like a broad way of sorts.
Yes, we get the point. There's an area like it in the western end of London.
I bet you could pick a theatre-goer's pocket or two.
All right, yes, I've come to America in part to argue for copyright law. On this, I'm surely the biggest loser of all time. England protects my work, but here they copy my copies. No penny nor cent comes Dickenswards. The only money I make from Messrs. Twist, Nickleby, Pickwick, or Rudge is to bring them here myself and hawk them from the back of a wagon.
I have been the only one to stand with you on this. I do worry for our creative industry.
No, don't we all?
Though let us admit, there are others in greater need of legal protection.
I have been appalled at what I've witnessed here. I thought England was blinkered in its treatment of workers. Then I saw the slave fields of America. So much to be done. Maybe I am becoming the moral campaigner Americans think me. And here we were talking of Christmas. If I'm to write anything ever again and the muse is never taken for granted, it would be not festive and frivolous, but political, holding the powerful to account.
All right. I've only come in for a schnapps.
Sure, boss. You carry on fighting the good fight, writing the good right, changing hearts and minds with this Marcus Fizzlewit.
Martin Chuzzlewit. It's my best work, yet no one can ever pronounce the title. Some think it's slight and frothy, and all right, it's hardly world-changing, but the world is changing me. Once Martin has chuzzled his last wit, I will take a leaf out of your travel book, Irving. See British poverty for myself.
Maybe I will join you to the West Country mines, perhaps, as prescribed by your letter of writing, Dr.
Dr. Maloney. Mahogany. Whatever he's called. I prefer to travel alone, thank you. Then I shall write my observations, like Dr. Irving here. Although, unlike him, I will not exaggerate.
For the millionth time, I don't exaggerate.
Then I will take this new tract against slavery and factory life and nail it to the doors of Parliament, just as Martin Luther stuck his theses to the church door.
Oh, theses. Okay.
Yes, theses.
My wife is here! Quick!
What are we supposed to do? Hide in the cupboard?
No! Bow, you fools!
My
queen!
Where is she?
I guess we got a personnel issue.
Oh, well, I don't know.
Well, I think, we've assumed that you Prince Albert would in some way be portraying the...
So sexist. Okay, well, could Victoria be
Look, we just need somebody to represent her.
Well, I think there are some other people here who could help us.
We see you when you're off camera. We know when you're unmuted.
Okay, live audience. As many as who would like to unmute, okay, turn your cameras on and join in as Queen Victoria. One line each, and they're in the chat.
Come on, we can hear you.
Okay,
Oh,
so we've got thank you, just the director here, just cajoling the audience to become the actors, if you would. We need 4 Victorias, please. There's it's in the chat there, so if you can see the chat. Oh, Cindy, you put your hand up. That's brilliant. Would you be okay to be, in fact, well, let's save you for last. Could you do V4? Can you see the chat where you are? Can you see the chat window?
No.
No, that's
fine.
Hang
on, have I opened it up?
Okay, there's a little chat window. Brilliant. If you could be V4 to the bottom there.
Yeah.
That's great. And we need some other volunteers. Anyone else who wants to? Steve's giving us a wave. You could be V1 for us. That'd be amazing. And we need a V2 and a V3. Anyone else?
Teresa and Chris seem to be unmuted and ready.
Great. Teresa and Chris. Well, in fact, Teresa and Chris, you could do V2 for us then. That would be amazing. Could you do it in unison? That would be even better.
Okay.
Thank you. And that leaves a V3. Any volunteers for a V3? Give us a wave.
Anne-Marie has
got a hand up.
Anne-Marie. There may be opportunities later if you were disappointed. Don't worry about it. Anne-Marie and Stephen. So if you could be V3, that would be fantastic. Okay, everybody ready?
Yeah.
Marvelous. Good. Take it away. Thank you, actors.
Right place.
Ready? My queen.
At ease, my noble subjects.
Certainly, Your Majesty. And may I say that you delivered your lines beautifully. Well done. Well done. Lovely layout you've got there as well. Lovely.
Nice decor. Really, really good. Well done, darling. My wife meets Mr. Irving.
Thank you for your hospitality, Mr. Irving.
That was lovely in unison there, Your Majesty. Well done. Excellent. The honor is all mine. And you are welcome to Sunnyside. It's no castle.
But it is sunny. Albert and I have enjoyed a warm welcome over here, this side of the pond.
Beautifully spoken, ma'am. And I like your curtain background, similar to mine. Wonderful, wonderful.
Nice.
Always a delight to be in your company. We were just speaking of the danger of the tin mines, the over-industrialization of the inner city hellholes, and how to stop the horrors of the slave trade.
Christmas. We were just talking about Christmas. Dickens, you are such a party pooper.
Of course, you are our 3 kings of Christmas. We gather you each are rather keen on the festival. But how have we reached this point, we wonder? Would that you would bring us up to date on all these festive shenanigans.
Absolutely marvelous, darling. Marvelous. My darling wife. How many varied and interesting accents you speak in.
You can talk, Albert.
Excuse me.
Nothing.
Thank you, audience. No offense, but you were brilliantly marvelous. I'm going to mute you now, but you were so good. We need to recover with some muting. So well done, audience. Applause for audience. So good indeed. Thank you, everybody, and thank you. We may now commence proceedings from here. I thank you.
There we go. Well, since you asked, Your Majesty, allow me to lead a charge into Christmas past. There are not 3 men on the planet more qualified to present it to you.
Oh, must we?
We must.
Why not? I'm game.
And of course, anyone familiar with festive history will know there is only one means by which to tell the story.
Indeed. One theatrical style to invoke.
Which is?
A ghost story.
A pantomime!
A nativity.
So, how's this going to work?
Well, At least we can agree when and where Christmas starts.
Absolutely. Northern Europe, a few thousand years BC. Yes, Germanic lands have the dark ancestor of Christmas. You.
Yeah, you can't make it a ghost story just by going, "Ooh."
A story of ice and fire, and winter has come. On the bleakest day, the North folk eat and drink and burn things night after night after dark night.
Yeah, you done? Because my nativity story would start this way. A long time ago in Bethlehem, so the Holy Bible say, once in royal David's city, in that little town of Bethlehem, on that first Noel, while shepherds watched, I saw 3 ships come sailing in.
Not in Bethlehem, you didn't. It's inland.
See, she's always ruining things.
Oh.
I'm talking about that silent night.
Ah, Still Nacht. Yeah, it's a good song. Top of German hit parade, Europop. Yeah.
A virgin called Mary gives birth to a boy named Jesus, Son of God, Prince of Peace. Then Luke's gospel has a pigeon sacrifice and a circumcision, but most school performances cut that bit. I mean, leave it out.
Your Majesty, forgive me. Gentlemen, I admire your nativity and your ghost story, but you lack the fun. The story of Christmas celebration is one of joy, best retold with that recent London entertainment, the English pantomime. Remember those? Beloved by all.
Oh, no, it isn't.
Oh, yes, it is. And it will be again. 'Tis I, Cheeky Charlie, introducing scene 1, the Roman Empire. Their big party is wacky and topsy-turvy Saturnalia. Slaves dress as masters, men dress as women with ugly sisters galore, eh, missus?
Meanwhile, Christmas is born, but there is no room in the calendar because of the other Roman festivals. Then in the 300s, Pope Julius says, I have a stable date for you, December 25th.
Enter stage right, the Western Church. Enter stage left, the Eastern Church. They can't decide when Christmas is, so agree on, I don't know, about 12 days? Well, what's the festive season about if not keeping both sides of the family happy?
In Bohemia, there is a good king called Wenceslas, a very deep man, and crisp, and even.
To England, there's mistletoe and holly and Jester Roland the Farter with his leap, whistle and fart routine. Your Majesty should bring back the farting jester.
No need. Victoria demolishes a 7-course dinner in half an hour. So many sprouts. Forgive me, darling. We're all friends here.
Speak for yourself.
Christmas needs a new shepherd. So Francis of Assisi stages the first live nativity and writes Christmas songs that finally aren't in Latin, which I hate at school.
In Germany, the most famous writer of the day, Heinrich Süß, writes a song in Latin and German, in Dulce Jubilo.
Doesn't sound very dark and ghostly.
Henrik spends Christmas standing in the cold so his skin blackens and his tongue cracks, so you know it's not all holly and angels. Then Martin Luther, a proud German, brings inside the first Christmas tree, puts candles on it. It'd be a bit dangerous.
Back in English panto land, Christmas, your best days are behind you. Because here come the Puritans to ban it. Boo! Hiss!
Boo! Hiss! Your English pantomime doesn't catch on over here, but then neither does Christmas. You know, Ollie Cromwell and the Puritans?
Great band.
Yeah, great band. Well, in my nativity, Ollie Cromwell is like King Herod seeking to kill off Christmas. The Pilgrim Fathers bring no Christmas to the New World. It crops up in Manhattan, but to other Americans, it seems like a fairy tale of New York. But I got a feeling, guys, this year's for me and you.
So happy Christmas, I loves you, baby. I can see a better time when all our dreams come true. La 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 la. Well, maybe you folks aren't ready for that yet, but your kings are going to love it.
Very odd. Meanwhile, in England, mid-1600s, Christmas is still banned. I'm starting to see why. But Father Christmas saves the day. He's printed on pro-Christmas propaganda. Oh yes, a pamphlet can change things.
Oh, now, does this Father Christmas wear red or green?
Well, he wears black.
Oh, how delightfully bleak to represent the death of nature.
No, that's the colour of black and white printing, you daft highness.
Well, at least we keep Christmas going in Germany when you Brits and Yankees are crying over lost Christmas dinner.
In England, Christmas returns. Hurrah! But the fun's kind of gone out of it now.
In America, the Dutch bring Sinterklaas with them on boats to New York. I guess the Brits pack Father Christmas on their boats, but maybe he sank with the tea off Boston Harbor. What you gonna do?
Yeah, thanks. I wondered why I can't get a good cup of tea around here. So what's next in your story then?
Oh, well, I couldn't possibly. I mean, I feel embarrassed to even.
Okay then, in which case, shall we move on?
Washington Irving. This guy takes center stage, writes tales of Dutch devotion to this gift-giving wagon flyer, Santa Claus. Soon there are children's poems of the night before Christmas.
Yes, but you didn't write that.
Yeah, I inspired that, like I inspired you, Charles. Old Santa with his belly like jelly, with reindeer like Prancer and Vixen and...
Oh, fiddlesticks and poppycock.
Is that the German translation?
Your Americans are watering down St. Nicholas when he fits perfectly into my dark saga. You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not shout. I'm telling you why. Krampus is coming to town, dragging chains and canes with his long-tongued goat friend, the Belschnickel, bleating, "Sleep well, children. I'm checking my list."
You preserved Christmas, all right? We may water it down, but you drown it in alcohol. Like your English factories, your German Christmas is no place for children.
Oh, wait a minute. We should have checked. This is no place for young children either. Your Majesty, one is not concealing any young princes or princesses with you. If so, it is worth adding that Saint Nicholas is just a good friend of Santa Claus, who is real.
And Father Christmas, who is also real.
And Krampus, who is also all right. It is not all dark tales with me. That Christ child is still the heart of the steel knot, your silent night. On Christmas Eve, 1818, in a quiet Austrian church, tiny mice chew the organs. So a song is written, no scales, apart from their mices with their sharp organ-chewing pointy teeth.
That very same day, I follow a star, Mr. Watt, to his home in England's Midwest Midlands Shire. I tell the world of my visit in my book to help reignite that festive fire.
There he goes, making it all about him again.
Why all this squabbling? Is this what a real family Christmas is like? If so, I'm glad I have no family. And I am glad I made up that oh so lovely classic English family Christmas.
Ah, you did make it up.
Made it upwardly accessible to all. Listen, if Christmas history is a nativity of sorts.
And it clearly isn't. I mean, am I alone in thinking this is incredibly crowbarred?
If it is, then we need 3 wise men to bring their gifts, save Christmas, stoke that fire before it goes out for good.
Don't worry, His Highness will keep it lit. He'll cover it in high-proof alcohol and then set fire to it.
Well, frankly, I'm incensed.
That's gold.
So in conclusion, Christmas can be seen as one giant pantomime.
Nativity.
Ghost story.
All right, it's clearly a bit of a mess.
Yeah, but I was hoping that it could be reinvigorated by three wise men. But clearly not. For we are not entirely wise, nor entirely men.
If you are Balthazar and Melchior, I will be Caspar.
Well, you are a friendly ghost.
Begone, ye ghosts of yore, of Yule. Enough Christmas past.
Well, I hope our Christmas in a nutshell, at least, amused our Queen. Your Majesty?
Yes,
Your
audience, audience, we do need you again to actually say a line now, if you wouldn't mind. So when Washington Irving says that line, once again, if you would unmute yourselves, and would you just, when Washington Irving finishes that line, and when he says, Your Majesty, if you could all reply together, we are not amused. Okay, that would be amazing. Thank you. So thank you. Unmute yourselves. We are not amused. Once Washington Irving says, Your Majesty, thank you. Washington Irving, take it away. Thank you.
Well, I hope our Christmas in a nutshell at least amused our Queen. Your Majesty.
Well, we
We
are
are
not
not
amused.
Perfect.
Very amusing, though. That Yule log, there we go. Keep the flame alight. My writings, your writings, they are fuel. We are well read. Like Santa Claus.
Well read and well white too. Meanwhile, our friends of colour are dispossessed. While slave fields are full and factories deadly, there is no time to talk of Christmas. Children are not looking to the chimney for your Santa Claus. They look to the chimney for a wage and a soot-filled lung. When those chimneys are child-free, speak then of caroling. For now, Your Highness, expect my political writing soon. It will change the world the moment I've finished with Martin Wuzzlechit. Chuzzlewit!
Well, Victoria and I cannot wait to attend a reading back in London.
Your celebrated readings. I am impressed, Mr. Dickens, at turning the written word into public performance. Lucrative too, I imagine.
Performance pays the writer's debt. Normally.
Where is your next London venue?
The O2, too many to mention.
Perhaps after your next recital, you might accept Her Majesty and my Royal Highness for a private reception?
Alas, as I have replied to you previously, I am made weary by recitals, especially my own. I shall retire directly to Devonshire Terrace.
Oh, then we shall meet you there. Would you tell me the house number?
Let me spell it out for you. N-O 999.
Wow, that's a really big street for London. No matter, Victoria and I will deduce the address.
Well, let us help you do not.
If we do, maybe we make some loud noises, like rutting foxes beneath your window. Know what I mean?
What is he talking about?
Then Mrs. Dickens shrieks will inform us of your whereabouts, if that is, you have not retired to a different premises for the night with some other woman.
Yes, thank you, Your Highness.
Charles, I must ask, you two have been bickering all evening. Have I misjudged this meeting of minds? Is there history?
There is always history.
Yeah, well, there is clearly biology as well, if you know what I'm saying, you ruffian.
One thing I love about America is its classless society, no hierarchy. But unfortunately, you have brought class to the occasion. You have invited the hierarchy in. It's not that I detest His Highness.
It is that you love Her Majesty, among other women.
Well, how could you not? Look at her. She's different every time you gaze upon her. Well, she's vanished from my view now, but I could see her when she spoke earlier, and oh my, what different images she contains every time she speaks. Well, when the prince talked of sub-window disturbance, of the sound of rutting foxes, it is my inappropriate behavior he has in mind.
Yes.
I crossed paths with the royal couple before on that most fateful of days, their wedding. Can it be 2 years already since that happy day? How I envy our descendants whose world will not stop spinning for a royal wedding at Windsor.
I read of the wedding of Victoria and Albert. Were you there?
Among the crowds with my artist friend, Maclise, a man I envied above all but Albert.
Maclise, the portrait painter.
Royal portraits, lucky blighter. Stuck in a room with Her Majesty, a pot of paints and a brush that tickles. Anyway, we raised a glass to the happy couple. And I suppose, like children, I raised more than I should have.
My bride, my queen, you're my wife now. Let us to our chamber for our wedding night.
Maclise painted me a picture in words of the castle boudoir. Envy filled me. We stomped through Windsor, drinking to forget, but not forgetting to drink, when an idea formed. Go against the leaving masses, return to the castle. Lighted windows above, we knew the honeymooners were still there. So I threw myself to the mud beneath their window. I rolled and I agonized, and there was no comforting me. And no, Maclise, you must not try. I protest at this. Not in my name. Down with wedding nights. Stay woke. Stay awake. Make tea, not love.
Wow! And the side effect of this must have been loud annoyance to the newlyweds upstairs. You prohibited Congress.
Oh, yes. For a minute or least, while they found a bucket.
Your family. Did you think of them?
They were, as they are now, home in London. My Charlie and Mammy, little Lucifer and young Skull. Nicknames, all like me on that night, barely able to walk. I returned to Kate in the morning with one song on my lips. My heart is in Windsor. My heart is not here. I made it up, sang it around the house persistently. Oh, Kate, what have I done to deserve her?
What has she done to deserve you? You are a fool, Charles. You envied Prince Albert. Well, I envy you. I always dreamed of children.
Well, keep them as a dream. They make me utterly miserable. I burst into tears on hearing their voices. My only ally at home is Grip the Raven. Oh, who's a good bird? Wave your claw. Good Grip. Have some chicken guts.
But you're Charles Dickens, Boz, savior of the modern family.
Oh, I love family. What a concept. Yes. I just simply do not like my own. My father was a terror, and it seems to have skipped a generation.
Ah, children, such a blessing. We had our first a year after the wedding night.
Ah, sorry not sooner.
We have a boy and a girl now, don't we, darling? We see ourselves in them. So we named them Victoria and Albert and...
What are you going to call your third one? And?
I'm sorry I'm not as inventive as with your firstborn's name, Charles.
How sad. You bring family to life so well on the page. When you wrote of your perfect Christmas dinner, I could taste the mulled wine, smell the poultry, turkey, not goose, right? And, oh, the whiff of the plum pudding.
Christmas pudding, I call it, but as you see fit.
I'm just saying, your gift to Christmas is sheer aromatic frankincense.
Well, I credit you, Dr. Irving, for your wise gift, reviving the coziness of the country manor, the roar of the log fire and the greater reassurance of centuries of nostalgia. You bring warm, sweet, myrrh-like revival.
How many wise men were there?
Well, technically the Gospels don't say, they just say some magi brought 3 gifts. Could have been 2 wise men, one of them carrying 2 gifts. So.
And 8, the last 5, empty-handed. Awkward.
Yes, but it is commonly assumed they were dry. 3. So, to the modern Christmas, I too bring a layer of royal gold. I know, Mr. Dickens, you think me a brash industrialist, but I am the people's prince.
Thinks a lot of himself. Who does he think he is? The King of England?
I care for my people. All right, my wife's people. Our dark satanic mills may not care for the well-being of their laborers, but these factories have given us a new middle class. They have given people aspiration.
Well, they've given them perspiration.
Listen, I put up a huge tree at Windsor, so the upper class put up a big trees too. The new middle classes look to the upper class and they find a nice mid-sized tree for their homes.
And the poor look up to the middle class and bring a small shrub into the workhouse.
Crudely put, but yeah. Same with turkeys, from the giant bird at our table.
No way to talk of our queen. Ignore him, your majesties.
To the tiny runt of a fowl on the kitchen plank in Marylebone.
Hey, I live in Marylebone.
I know. Our royal Christmas is mimicked and scaled down across the land like Russian dolls. In fact, like those dolls last Christmas. We stuffed a chicken in a duck, in a turkey.
Your turducken.
And this year, a woodcock in a chicken, in a pheasant.
Your fair ken.
What the Dickens?
Not all your highness's innovations have caught on. What about those upside down Christmas tree chandeliers you hang from the ceiling? Like the royals, people look up to them, but they're out of reach, utterly ridiculous and highly dangerous.
Yeah, I can't see chandeliers setting the world alight.
Don't give him ideas, he'll set fire to anything. Now I see why you keep a bucket of water by your bedside.
We can't all have heat after heat. The Christmas tree in the corner is my Oliver Twist. The conifer chandelier is my Barnaby Rudge. It fell a little flat.
We may flatter your highnesses that you are a popular couple the world over. A portrait of your family at the Christmas tree even made American print, a magazine that published many of my own stories, so they know taste.
I remember that picture well from the London News. Oh, Victoria wore that beautiful tiara.
Yes, well, for American readers, we did remove the tiara and lost your facial hair. Americans wouldn't like it too royal or too German.
Charming.
But so influential. When a British royal marries someone exotic, the world takes note. Whether a duke from Germany or, I don't know, an actress from El Pueblo de Los Angeles.
Don't be ridiculous. If that happens within 1 3/4 centuries, well then paint me blue, bend my nose and call me Gonzo.
His Highness sets trends. When he grows a mustache, all the men of the land grow a mustache, November or not.
Yes, I'm working on that, and when I build a snowman, everybody builds a snowman. I put on my skates. The whole nation is dancing on ice. You see, Charles, to the industrial West, we bring hope, aspiration, the British dream.
Not to me, you don't.
Well, you are already wealthy.
I would be if Americans would stop ripping off my books. So this aspiration thing that you bring, it's all about money, is it?
Nine. Family, bringing them back together at a safe distance. Perhaps even you, especially you, need some of that. You put the Atlantic Ocean in the way.
All right. So my father was a rogue, but I provide for my children.
Provide from the wallet, yes, but not your heart. You need to be there for them.
Well, I am there.
You are here, drifted over the waves. Go home to your family. Keep your children close as I do.
You could learn a thing or two from the royal couple, Charles. The Western world cherishes the Victoria and Albert Christmas.
My wifely majesty, I'm sure we can suggest other gifts we have brought to the nation. That is the royal we.
Yeah, if you need a royal we, there's no interval. But we won't be long. Hold on.
So come on, everyone. Words in the chat again.
Come on, Your Majesty.
Unmute
We join in
yourselves.
together. Here we go.
Okay, right. So
Come on, darling.
yes, once again, ladies and gentlemen, you have another opportunity to shine, obviously. And so we do need a few more Queen Victorias, if that would be such an okay thing. Can you give us a wave if you're up for being a Queen Victoria for one last time here? Give us a wave if you are happy to take a line
Don't be
from
shy,
this bit.
darling.
Steve Jackman again, absolutely, Steve. Okay, brilliant. Steve, you are V1. Okay, it's in the chat once again. V1 is you. Who's going to be V2? Give us a wave if you'll be V2. There we go. Who else we got? So I'm going across several different screens right now. Anne-Marie and Stephen, brilliant. You can be V2. Marvellous, thank you for that. Anyone else who's up for being V3? This is like an auction. The Pellywits, thank you, Pellywits. You are V3. You can choose who or you both do it. In fact, why don't you be V3 and V4? There you go. You can be one each. You don't have to be V5.
Leaving.
Okay.
There is an actual Victoria, Austin's mum. Where's
Okay, yeah, we could see an
Ha
actual
ha.
she's there? Maybe she's gone.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah,
Victoria.
there
She's gone.
Ah, she was there.
Okay, fair
She's
enough.
got a veil, darling.
no,
Go
she's
back.
there.
My
Austin's
favourite
parents. Austin's parents. There we go.
Brilliant. So there you go. You could. So you're. What are we up to? V5? Is that V5? I think it's V5.
That's fine.
And V6, 7, 8, and 9. Who's going to be V6, 7, 8, and 9? We need some extras for that. Give us a wave. Here's me. Oh yeah,
Oh,
David
Chris.
mentioned.
Well done,
David.
Chris.
Chris. Is there a Chris? Brilliant.
There he is.
Chris can
Go
be.
on, David.
Chris can be 6. David. Chris can be 6 and 8. David can be 7 and 9. There you go. You can flip flop on that one. So brilliant. Thank you very much. If you wouldn't mind taking it away, that would be amazing. Over to you for the first line, actors. Thank you.
So, today's Christmas present is brought to you by the V&A. Do visit the gift shop, including
Paper crafts from Germany.
of red and green,
Advent calendars.
Mooti would mark off days with sweeties behind each window. Oh, yummy.
A fairy on the tree, gingerbreads,
Crackers.
A baker I know took wrapped sweets, added a joke and a hat, the cardboard bit from inside a toilet roll, and it's not for America. Stolen. Yes, not stolen goods. Yes, nice fruit bread.
German markets. Sanitation.
Yeah.
The aqueduct.
Yes, but apart from trees, advent calendars, gingerbread, Stollen, the fairy, papercraft, sanitation, and the aqueduct, what have the Germans ever done for Christmas?
Brought peace.
No.
Well, thank you, audience. Thank you. You can take a bow. Applause for audience. Well done, audience. Thank you. Thank you. As you were. Thank you.
All right, my friends, I am not well read in history. I am not a learned gent.
Not even a gent.
Sirs, I do not share your gift for storytelling, but my Christmas present is the Christmas present. How we celebrate Christmas now.
Well, your fashionable Christmas has its joys, I grant you, but are you saving the poor from squalor or putting them there?
I push legislation to make December the 25th a day of rest, a holy day.
Too little, too late, Your Highness?
What, you want the 26th as well?
You know, Washington, I'm starting to agree with you. Maybe I should write more of Christmas. I cannot with a clear conscience leave it in the wrong hands. It would be a right royal mess. And if present day influence is our measure, well, I recently had a trouser named after me. Did you know that? True story. The Dickens spin-off promotional trousers.
We call them pants here. And what you call pants, I believe the English ladies call knickers, a word I invented. Yeah, follow that. My lead character, Diedrich Knickerbocker. He lent his name to an ice cream dessert.
Yummy.
And New York sports teams.
Go Knicks!
And in the English edition of my book, the illustrator drew Knickerbocker's pantaloons in the style of ladies' undergarments, but not in the American version. So you have knickers, I prefer panties.
I bet you do.
Look, it's a long way of saying knickers to you.
There you go, sir. Dickens' trousers, Washington's knickers. I'm sure your name hasn't gone to anything under trouser, has it, Prince Albert?
It has a ring to it. All right. Beat this. Well, if we're getting competitive, my wife named an entire era. The Victorian age will be heralded throughout the world for centuries.
Victorian, yes. Although, I like the sound of Dickensian.
Or Irvingian.
No, that sounds rubbish. That's dreadful.
No one will ever call it that, no.
But I fear for a society that defines itself by how the other half live, how the other 1% live. You see, aspiration is one thing, but hope is better. I shall write you that Christmas story.
Marvelous. A pen for Mr. Dickens.
I will write a cracking account called The Life of Our Lord. Christ and his pauper family will show my poorer readers that simplicity is an aspiration to better extravagance. Did St. Paul not say money is the root of all evil?
No, he said loathe of money is the root of all evil.
Yeah, we each know money and power, and we know the folly of clinging to it.
Well then, perhaps I write a Christmas tale of Herod instead. Is there hope of redemption for him, I wonder? He meets 3 mysterious visitors, isolates himself as the world celebrates, looks out defiantly at tiny Jesus and his poor family.
Oh, 9. You need not retell the gospel to say that God will bless us, everyone. Tell a story of Christmas away from the factory, where children tread not on ash, but on...
Snow. Tell me, what passes for festive weather today?
Well, the weather outside is frightfully spring-like. Like I've been saying, because it is historically spring at all.
Yes, but in England, at Christmas.
It is mild, hasn't snowed for years.
Oh, but it should. In my story, it will. When I was a boy, every Christmas was white for my first 8 years. True story. The Thames had frost fairs. An elephant walked from the south bank to the north across the ice.
African or Indian?
Why does it matter?
I'm just wondering about the weight of the ears.
My readers want to dream of those white Christmases they used to know when rooftops glistened.
How about treetops?
You and your trees. How sad I was on my 9th Christmas to see no more than dew on the grass. One of my earliest memories as a 4-year-old was of a white June.
Oh, 1816. Bad all over. The year without summer.
1800 and froze to death, they called it. Yet great art came from the cold. Lord Byron on holiday in Italy could not sunbathe, so made his friends write ghost stories. The first vampire story and Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
Don't mention Shelley. I mentioned her once, but I think I got away with it. She nearly became Mrs. Irving.
You dated Frankenstein?
No. I dated the creator of the creator. Everyone makes that mistake. But did that cold weather spark something in the young Charles? I wonder.
Well, it sparked a fascination for something white and ethereal, not ghosts, but snow.
Do not dismiss ghosts. Shelley's monster is no monster, but reminds us of Europe's poor and broken seeking help and shelter, but spurned at every door.
Yes, her ghoulish horror made us consider the horror of the industrial present. You want to make a political point, Charles, make it, but not with a pamphlet. Tell a tale.
Yes, with ghosts and and snow and home. I've spent too long in your land, Dr. Irving. I've sampled enough of America and its dream. I like your ingredients very much, but your dish goes against the grain and disagrees with me. A bit of undigested Uncle Sam's apple pie has given me a disorder of the stomach. I must return to Devonshire Terrace, to my writing desk.
Oh, not to your family?
No, I must write with my pen in my grip and my grip on my shoulder. And there on my desk as inspiration, the letter of that Cornish doctor, Malarkey. Malarkey? Yeah. Family can wait. I'm young. I have time.
You have time. The opposite is true. Time has you. Your ideals are noble. Charity, family, justice. But we share a brief moment in history. 3 men passing each other, passing time, passing the wassail bowl before passing out.
All we have are fleeting meetings, chance encounters. We leave each other different from how we found them.
Like you, Mr. Dickens, residing with me on this American tour, my highlight of 1842.
And like you, Dr. Irving, when you will attend our palace ball the following summer, the highlight of 1843.
I will observe that you will speak impressive English, Your Highness, and that Her Majesty will largely just sit there. Yeah, just like that.
Like the... Hold on a second. 1843 is yet to come. It's a year away.
Like Her Majesty's letters to Mr. Dickens in 1862, asking for donations to Albert's Memorial Fund. You will, of course, decline, Charles.
Wait, please. I die in 1862? Like little Nell? I still can't believe it.
It's about the spirit. That's what lives on. The mark we make on the world daily, in midwinter, in springtime, whenever. So, Charles, Christmas future is...
Wait, is it something to do with me?
It's you, Charles.
Am I dreaming?
Nova
bright Christmas, just like the ones we're going to know. You will shape the world, sir. You write of mulled wine. We all drink mulled wine. You call plum pudding winter pudding. We changed the name.
Christmas pudding.
Then we'll call it that. And what greeting shall be of the lips of someone full of Christmas? Blessed Boxing Eve.
Happy Holy Days.
Merry Christmas.
That's why you're good at this stuff. And what shall be on the lips of one against Christmas?
Ha! Bum hug.
Needs work.
So this is future Christmas. And what have we done? Another year over, a new one just begun. Wait, what are all these moving windows and magical rectangles?
Oh, it's how people will communicate instead of, meeting face to face. Might come in handy one day in case of, I don't know, a plague. Hey, perhaps one day this will be broadcast on some box in the corner.
Fat chance. We can't even fill out a theatre.
No, that's for a different reason.
So what else does future hold? Christmas future?
Lots. A speech from the monarch, and Christmas blend coffees, and a wise man, and a Morecambe man. Those are the right names, though not necessarily in the right order.
Holidays will be a-coming, according to a black beverage of caffeine and phosphoric acid. The Bible will be increasingly popular at Christmas. Sorry, the booble. I don't know what that is, but I hope the Bible's popular alongside the booble. Booble!
And Trees. There will be trees. Every home will have one.
Not set on fire, I hope.
Well, it turns out early 20th century flammable shrubbery, paper and candles, and not a good mix.
Fear not. In the 1930s, the Addis Brush Company will have a surplus stock of lavatory brushes.
I'm sorry, have you gone mad?
Artificial trees. Trust me, they'll be all the rage.
Oh, rage. Cannons in the field of war, silenced by steel knocked on Christmas Eve.
Another war will spread the American Christmas from phosphoric acid drink to lavatory brush trees. Even your snowy Christmas, Charles, will be frozen in the world's favorite song. 99 years hence in that city of El Pueblo Nuestro.
Oh, just call it Los Angeles. There in a Hollywood, very festive, White Christmas will be first heard, the world's all-time bestseller.
Bestseller? Best schmeller? I was the world's bestseller once. And will people know me apart from Rip Van Winkle? Will they know I sold the English Christmas back to the English? Invented the word knickers? And Gotham City? Did I mention I invented that too? Huh, that's kind of cool. And what do I get? A small credit on Sleepy Hollow on Netflix.
Netflix? Are they like knickers too?
Yeah, maybe. Future visions aren't clear. I'm still trying to work out how you buy a song.
I imagine a flash disc with a spiral groove or possibly some clicking and streaming by the telephonic inventions of Alexander Graham Bell. It's not clear, even to people as they are trying to do it.
So this future Christmas, where do I fit in?
Your legacy, Mr. Dickens, will be in every home. Your story, not a political pamphlet, but a carol, will be retold by leading actors of their day.
From a wonderful life in Bedford Falls to the definitive version, in which small fabric puppets sing and clown around a mocked-up set of Dickensian London. Sorry, Victorian London.
Puppets?
Oh, well, they will make a few changes to your work. You write Jacob Marley. Two grumpy puppets play Jacob and Bob Marley. This needn't be your concern. I've not even told you about Scrooge McDuck yet.
I must resolve the copyright matters very soon if I'm to earn a penny from these puppets. I must write even sooner. Now I see it. I see right through you, you spirits. How did I not spot that is what you are? The clanging of the bells heralded your arrival, and then, Irving, you led us through Christmas past.
I prefer the past to the present. At least they've heard of me there.
Christmas present was championed by a visitor that somehow filled an entire room or Zoom. Your Majesty is a friendly ghost of today's trends.
A polterzeitgeist, a ghost that's very now.
And as for your visions of the future, well, you must have 2020 vision.
Now, don't mention 2020.
What?
Seriously, just move on. You want to hear about 2021? It's great. In 2023, there's the first pantomime in space. In 2025, we get chlorinated turkey.
No, you've got me curious now. Go on. 2020.
Well, you know how Christmas was kind of canceled by Ollie Cromwell and the Puritans?
Great band.
Great band.
Yeah, great band. Well, imagine that instead of Christmas, it's everything. And it's for a whole year and change.
Oh. So how does a 2020 Christmas look?
Well, different. There's a rule of 6 geese a laying.
There are 5 gold tiers in Scotland, 3 in England.
Due to social distancing, there can be no 8 maids a milking and no 11 pipers piping due to the dangers of woodwind.
Oh, wait, no, maids a milking are fine. It's exempt as a workplace.
Oh, right. But the Lords of Leaping can get stuffed.
As stuffed as the turkey that we won't have in 2020, because not enough people can gather. People will be told to stay home. See? The American president will lead the way by refusing to leave his home. What a model citizen.
Work parties will happen from home via small rectangular machines called Zoom Teams or something.
And whenever someone opens an advent calendar door, they clap for the NHS.
Now you're just making stuff up.
Maybe. The sands of time aren't clear. Looks like there'll be quarantine shielding and pre-isolating and self-bubbling.
Go on, what's self-bubbling?
I don't know. I think it's when you turn your bath into a jacuzzi.
This future sounds very unusual. What about Christmas 2021?
It's better, but still many troubles. There still be a Mrs. Brown's Boys Christmas special.
But we shall carry on. And Christmas will carry on too, as reliable and certain as the smooth transition of power from one US president to another. Actually, scratch that.
It's a weird thing to say. So is the future written, Dr. Irving?
The future is what you make of it. So make it a good one. All of you.
Thanks, Doc.
Because when my beloved old Santa Claus takes over, and he will, when his folksy stocking filling meets with his ghostly highness's industrialized new world, when St. Nick gains a workshop and a workforce of elves working 3 jobs on a 0 hours contract, well then, Christmas might need a tight-knit family to think about. We have our holy family, but the world itches to read of their own families. Charles, can you scratch at that itch?
I'll scratch it. A family is not just for Christmas, but it is a good place to start. So if this is a dream, did the 3 of us ever truthfully meet?
As two and two and two, yeah. Perhaps though, not all 3. Forgive me, darling, for...
My ne'er-do-well hero, Rip Van Winkle, sleeps for 20 years, waking to see the error of his ways, that he ignored his family. In sleep, he triumphs. He took a time-bending trip, glimpsing his future to better himself. But when he woke, he had to act on it.
I will have my character wake and do just that. Oh, you mean me as well?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all right then.
So your revelation is...
I suppose I had a bad father, and I am a bad father. I'm kinder to my creations at my desk than to my creations in the nursery.
Treasure them. And think of me here, the only children being nephews and nieces, when my brother, Ebenezer, brings them to visit.
Oh, what was that name again?
Ebenezer. Ebenezer.
Sleep. Perhaps it's time to leave the land of Z's for the land of Z's.
It's sweet that you call a letter that. They're definitely Z's. I mean, look at it. It looks like a Z.
That's right, Charles. Leave America, leave dreamland for home.
Or will you send my wife on?
We will, Charles. It's a dream, so the shipping will be cheap. Sail well, boss.
Washington, you've been an excellent host.
A host with a capital G.
May the waves be kind till you dock in England.
Keep Christmas well. Just remember, in the future, be present for your family or your history.
Alle was es Weihnachten will bist du. All I want for Christmas is you.
I thank you. Good night, good spirits. I will honor my family in my heart. I will keep Christmas in all seasons. Sorry, what year is this? And where am I? Oh, I'm not too late. Oh, I'm as happy as an angel, as merry as a schoolboy, as inspired as a man who lives in a spire. How long have I slept? Not full Van Winkle, I hope. You, boy, on that screen. Yeah, you, just there. What's today, my fine fellow?
Thursday.
Yes, but is it Christmas?
You kidding me? It's October, weirdo.
Ah, then I have time. I've not missed it. Oh boy, you know the poulterers on the corner of the next street?
The one with the prize turkey sitting in the window? I should know it. I've turned the shop over a few times.
Then go and thieve one of the turkey's feathers for a quill and a pot of ink. And here's a farthing for your trouble. No need. I found a pen.
All right, but I'm keeping the farthing.
To work. But no, first I will to my family. My first love.
Charles, have you risen for breakfast?
Her incessant shriek. Wait for me, my sweet. I'll be with you.
Thank you, Charles. I'm so sorry to have bothered you.
Here she goes again. What an unpleasant woman. Dear Mr. Dickens, doctor here in Port Isaac, Cornwall. Delighted to make acquaintance. Yada yada. The hellish tin mines, unbearable conditions. Join me in seeking change. Your obedient servant,
Charles?
Dr. Miles Marley. Marley was dead to begin with. There's no doubt whatever about that.
And so we leave Charles writing his masterwork.
When he dies in 1870, a Covent Garden barrow girl is heard to say, Dickens dead? Then will Father Christmas die too? Which of course is ridiculous because Father Christmas doesn't even exist.
This has all been a true story. Everything from Dr. Marley writing to Dickens about Cornwall, to my brother, Ebenezer, to Charles staying with me on his American tour. I don't remember Prince Albert coming by for a nightcap, but who can say if it really happened?
I can say it didn't happen.
Yeah, why do you keep ruining things? Next you'll be saying you're not a real man. Ladies and gents, as Tiny Tim observed, God bless us, everyone.
That's a good line. I'm having that.
We thank you for your company. May your Christmas be bright. May your future be brighter. And like Scrooge reborn, may you keep the spirit of Christmas all year round.
All that remains is for us to wish you as merry a Christmas as you can muster, and a happier New Year than the old one has been.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you would unmute and join us, if you would, as much as you are able and willing to do so, in what will be an awful cacophony of a sing-song as we attempt to sing as one on Zoom together.
It will be a shambles.
Yes.
Let's embrace the madness of Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. Thank you and good evening.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have been watching as Charles Dickens, Alexander Perkins. As Washington Irving, Mr. Bob Hartman. As Prince Albert, Jennifer Masters. Yes, it's a woman. Who knew? Thank you very much indeed. This has been Three Wise Men. I have been Paul Kerensa. This has been loosely based on the book Hark, the Biography of Christmas by Paul Kerensa. And we wish you as merry a Christmas as you can muster. A very good evening to you.
Hey!